Welcome to the live stream. It is Thursday night, and you know what that means. I don't know what that means. Little homestead by the beach. I'm going to learn French just for my French friends, my Canadian friends. I made a T-shirt for you guys. Um, I made a T-shirt for you guys. I was going through and I said, you know what? I bet you there's no state canning shirts. So I made a New York shirt. I made a Kentucky and a North Carolina shirt. Um, and and I said, you know what? I I can't do like the different provinces in Canada because I don't even know. I couldn't name you all 50 states right now. But uh I said, I'm going to make a Canadian canner. Um, let's see if I can find it here real quick. Oh, goodness gracious, land sakes. Wait, no, it wouldn't be there. It would be. Wait, no, I'm sharing that screen. Okay, so I kind of got to do it that way. M red bubble dashboard. Oh, it is awesome. The merch shop is basically it's just I come up with the designs and I use Canva a lot to make the designs, and then what I do with that is once I upload the designs, I fit them onto a shirt. Oh, this is, let's see here. Let's see, view shop. Maybe it'll do it here. Hey, there's Remy. Let me go ahead and
Hey,
add one. Hey, how's it going?
not bad, not bad.
Um, yeah, you had a question about the merch shop. I the best one I found so far is Redbubble,
Okay, I've
and
seen a couple
uh,
of people with that one, but I have no clue. Like, do I just make the design and like, do you have to pay for your stuff, or you're just like get a cut on whatever they
you
sell?
get a
Or
cut. Basically,
okay,
I upload to their system, and then when they advertise it for you. Also, I mean, I do
wow,
my own advertising, um, but they advertise it, and then you advertise it also, and then you can take and when someone wants to buy it, they click on it and they purchase it. Where is the one that I just made? And they purchase it, and Redbubble takes their money. You know what you're going to get for a cut. You can set your own margins. I
okay,
think I'm set at like 20% for almost everything.
okay,
Um, and then when you hit, I think it's $20 or a month or whatever, my Halloween stuff is showing up, but the new ones I just did aren't showing up. But then they send you a check for it's
nice.
kind of like KDP. Uh, where
So I
is
could
that?
I could just decide to make a hat with my logo and create a merch like a merch shop like you have there, and it
Absolutely.
doesn't cost me anything. I just make a small profit on whatever they sell.
Right. Yes. They
Wow.
they ship it. If there is a customer complaint or problem, they will take care of it, take care of that. I do have an Etsy shop where I would have to drop ship stuff. Basically, if somebody orders from my Etsy shop, I don't have a lot on there right yet,
Okay.
but I would have to go on and order it and have it drop shipped to them.
Nice. It's pretty cool. I've been looking at your stuff the other day, and I was like, how does that work? And now I'm glad to find out.
Yeah, let me explore my designs here. Maybe it'll come up here. Um, but yeah, this is it's really nice. When my computer works. um, but yeah, I made, I want to say $20 or $30 on that. Um, between November and December.
Oh, cool.
Uh, there we go. There we go. There's my Canadian canner. I just got an outline of Canada because I'd like to do each state. And it's just as simple as that, man. I went on Canva and I found the shapes and the art. Now you can also upload your own pictures to Canva and stuff. And came up with it, and then I just changed the shape of the state and the name up top for each one.
Okay, and this is something you could add to your shirt or hat or whatever you want it to be
Oh
added
yeah.
to.
Let's
Cool.
see here. Let me see if I can bring this up. Let me close down that window.
Like, do you need a minimum amount of, like, do you need to sell a certain amount of stuff to keep your account open, or doesn't
No,
matter?
no.
Because it
It's
probably makes so much money that it doesn't matter.
yeah. There are people that make mad money, but there's like 80 different, it says here 80 different products that you can place these on, and you choose which ones they get placed on. Um
Cool.
yeah, there's a dad hat, the black shirt. I don't know why they're advertising a black shirt. I thought that took the black off there because the map won't show up on that. I'm walking
Yeah.
around with a canning jar on my shirt. Um, but yeah, they've got different. I love the graphic T-shirts are huge. They are really good. Um, and the thing is they get what they get from it, no matter what. So if you lower the
Yeah.
price or raise the price, they don't care. A lot of people say go way low and you'll sell more, but I would rather stay at a medium. Um,
Yeah.
let's see, they got stickers. They're big on stickers, um, transparent stickers, iPad skins, cell phone stuff. Um, fine art prints, and basically you go through and you make sure it looks right. And if it looks right to you, I gotta move that over. There we go. Now I can see that. Um,
I wonder how much the shipping would be for Canadian people.
um, I believe they have um, local departments all around the world.
Oh,
Um,
nice.
if you look it up on YouTube, there is, I can't think of her name. Uh, there's a woman that uh, she is in Bulgaria, I want to say,
Okay.
and I think hers is made in Hungary, and to get stuff in Bulgaria, you gotta it goes through quite the process, I guess. But she says she gets them a relatively short time. Uh, we got my daughter. We took a picture that she had on Facebook, and uh, we had it put on a couch pillow type thing. Um, They do pins. So if somebody says, "Oh, I don't want to spend a whole lot of money, but man, I really like this design," you know, what in the world is going on? Then they can get a pin, or a coffee mugs are $12, but and it is just amazing, the
The
simplicity
stuff
of
they
it.
have. Nice.
Uh,
I'll check it out for sure.
um,
Do you have a link on one of your videos for like to subscribe to them?
to subscribe to them, no, but if you
Okay.
follow my link, um,
Do you get a
let's
cut or something or?
no, 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 no,
Okay.
no. I mean, I never even thought about doing a affiliate for. Wait, I actually, for my products, I do affiliate links through Sovereign Commerce. They've got a cool little addition you put on to your web browser, and when you come across, it'll have a little star on it. If you have something like this, I could copy this link here. If I click on it, everything is so, there we go. Yeah, I'd make an eighth of a cent.
Well, that's
but
pretty much the amount I make per view on my videos
but
on
then if they
YouTube.
buy them, yeah, if they buy them, then um and then you just copy
The link.
you press copy and put it in your thing. But yeah, if you followed my link in the description of one of my videos, it will take you to my shop site, and then that you're already, let's see, view shop. You should
Um,
already be on. Give it a second. Yeah, and then you could just go down to the bottom, I believe. Now watch it prove me wrong. What's going on with my internet? I got the other computer shut down or closed, so it's sleeping. Well, I'll be. On the bottom of, in this blue area, there should be links. Yeah, right here. About us, partner
okay.
program, affiliate, sell your art. Click on any of those there, and it should.
Okay.
This
You
is
can.
cool because I can actually see what you guys are seeing. That's good because I've got the monitor set up now. I better turn my light on, huh? Hey, there I am.
Hey.
But yeah, it is just it's really cool. Now I've got uh several other sites. I got Teespring, and I think Teespring is the one I use if I want to do a front and back of a shirt, because Redbubble won't do that. But Teespring, I think, allows you to do that. I got a Shopify, not Shopify. Oh my goodness. I got Spreadshirt, Spring, or which is Dashboard, and then it's Vigilink Publisher Dashboard that does all the affiliate links and stuff. I think all total in that I've made, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred pennies.
Well, every little bit helps, I guess. I
Yeah.
made my first YouTube check the other day, like a week ago. I think I made $105,
Oh wow,
but
that's nice.
it had been like since April 2021. So It's like what, 9 months?
So how much would you say you make off each view of a video?
I roughly just if I make about 100 views on a video, I might make close to $1, depending on how many different advertising people click on or how many they watch completely. I mean, it
Okay.
depends. If you get just like a sometimes, my girlfriend's gonna watch my videos and she's like, "Well, you have like an hour and a half advertising. I'm not gonna watch that." So she
Right.
skips right away. But if you get like a 6 second ad at some point, it plays. I mean, you can't skip, so you'll play the whole thing. So I guess it might pay a little bit more. I don't know, but
Right.
I make between 50 cents and $1 per video by having between like 50 and maybe 120, 25 views.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome back, little homestead by the beach. If you wanna join in here, just hit that link up there. I can repost it if you need me to. But yeah, because I was wondering about that. That's because I don't want to get rich, but it would be nice to see some income coming from it.
Yeah.
Little
Do it.
extra money in the
You,
pocket.
you do it for fun, and whatever extra you get is just like an additional reward, I guess.
I
And it,
Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, it's telling me that I need to make more videos. I mean, right now in the winter, it's a little bit harder. I
Yeah,
make about one video a week, and I have to push and try hard to get that one video out. But in the
yeah.
summer, it's easier. You got more stuff going on.
Well, yeah. That uh, I'm actually having to plan and say, okay, what videos am I going to be doing this month? Um, because it's like, okay, people don't want to see me plow, you know, and that's the bulk of it is feeding the chickens, giving them fresh water every day, and snow removal.
Yeah.
Most of the time, I'm sitting here in front of the laptop.
Well, that's it. In the winter, I mean, besides shoveling and feeding the animals, there's not much you can do.
Hey, back to basics. Welcome,
Hi, Annie.
um, Annie. I've got a link up above. I can do it. I can redo it if you'd like. But if you'd like to, oh, you got okay. Yeah, kids will do that. Well, I appreciate you stopping in and say hi. Um, don't worry though. Once they get up there, my daughter is in her 30s, and she's actually keeps me in line now. she, she never really was a troublemaker, but she keeps me in line now.
My oldest kid just actually done last day of school, the beginning of this week. Makes me feel old.
Wow.
She doesn't
So
need to go through the second semester because she got all her credits in line now, and she's gonna
nice.
go try to find a job and put some money aside, I guess.
Yeah. 3 keeps you on your toes all the time. Yeah. Yeah. My daughter's got 4 living at home. One has grown up and moved out, but she's got 8 months, 8 months, 6 years, 11, and 14. Uh, and in fact, one of the videos that I tried to plan out is doing a tour of their farm. They've got a beautiful farm. They bought an old farmhouse with, I think it was, I want to say like 60 acres or something like that, and they rebuilt the barn. Not rebuilt it, but renovated it. They've done so much to the farmhouse itself. It is gorgeous inside, and they've got donkeys. They got rid of their horses. They ended up buying half of the farm next door just on their side of the road that has got all of their. I think he's got 40 cows. He's got black Angus and
Wow.
red Angus cows.
Nice. Good cows.
Yeah, and he's put ponds all down through it. It is just gorgeous.
So you said you had a kid. Your daughter has a kid that's out of the house. You're not that old. Oh, you're frozen. I don't hear frozen. We're losing you, Tracy. Can't hear anything you're saying. I don't know if it's just me or. Oh. Hey. Gotta run. If I can come back, I will. All right. Thanks, Andy. So I'm here alone now on THN 141 Hogred Homestead. Take care, Annie. Talk to you later. So I'm here. I'm not sure what he wanted to talk about. It's probably going to be back soon. I kind of feel weird to be here alone. Hopefully he'll be back soon. I don't really have anything planned to keep you guys entertained. So we might just cancel, or I don't know. Oh, let's wait a couple of seconds. I'm gonna enjoy my tea from the company Budweiser. It looks better in a cup like this. So Tracy is not back yet. Let's see if I can find him on Facebook if he's there. Tracy. Let's see if he sees my message. All right. So Tracy's not coming. I'm not even sure what to talk about. I don't even know if this is going to keep on playing or not. Well, if there's anyone watching this in replay, oh, there he is. Oh, he's coming back. He's coming back. I'm not very good at improvising. Oh, are you there? We don't see you, and I hear you like you were talking in a can. I see you now. You're still lagging. Slowly, but he's coming back. Now you're frozen again. You have a snowstorm in your area, and it's playing with your internet, or? Oh, he's frozen again. Oh. Can you hear me now?
Okay, I got you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I hear you. You're lagging a lot though.
Am I?
Okay, now it's better, I think.
I wonder if we get a storm coming in. Yeah, I will always come back or try to.
I try to keep everyone entertained, but I don't really have much to say at the moment.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, this is kind of a spur of the moment invite for you that I did there. Um, yeah, I'm sorry everybody for the technical problems. I don't know. For all I know, it could be something to do with the cell phone tower down the road. The other day, I was in the middle of uploading a video,
It
and
stopped.
everything stopped. It was I had nothing. My phone, my AT&T phone stopped working. Everything. So I think they were working on the tower down here. They were having problems. Um,
It always seems to happen when we're doing a live stream. I don't know if we have something to do with it. The same thing happened to me a couple of times.
yeah, yeah, um, yeah.
But
So I try to uh, I try to get back as soon as possible. I didn't even think I had the hotspot on, and I just had the laptop back there closed, the one that I watch Hulu and Netflix and stuff on,
okay,
and uh, so I turned the hotspot off. I shouldn't have been had the hotspot on because I don't know if the phones would keep uh, drawing or not.
so
But
yeah, we kind of lost you right after I asked you about your daughter's kid. You
yeah,
said you had one out of the house, but the age you told me you had. I mean, you had your kids very young, and she did also.
she is actually my stepdaughter.
Okay,
Um, I met her when she was 10 years old. When I married her mom, or well, when I met her mom, we started dating. I would have been 13 when she was born in 1984.
wow.
Um, and yeah, Wendy was 9 years older than I am.
Okay,
Uh, I had to go for an older woman because the younger ones just weren't working. I was engaged like 4 times,
the heart
but boy,
wants what it wants.
it does, and I got to tell you, she did me good. As she was a great wife, great companion. I'm sure I would frustrate her from time to time, but now this is on the chat. This is saying I still have connection problems. Oh well. Um, but yeah. So yeah, yeah. Most people don't catch on to the math that quick, but I was 13 when she was born. Um, but oh yeah, anybody watching this, go ahead and make sure that you enter the Wendy's birthday giveaway. While I am thinking about it, I'll go ahead and throw that up here. It's going to block our faces. But Wendy, there you go. I've been trying to get it to move down. I'm going to have to make another one that's at the bottom of the page or something. But Wendy's birthday giveaway, just email enter me to tham141@hotmail.com. The drawing will be live on February 8th, 2022, and you can win up to $50 worth of my merch. Or for all I care, you can ask for the money and I'll send you a money order for $50. But that is that out of the way. But yeah, I started it last year. I'm surprised YouTube didn't push me right off the platform because I did it. If for all my if you're subscribed, I was trying to get subscribers, and you're not supposed to do that. So now I'm just doing the whole
Email thing. I
Yeah.
mean, what do you mean? Like YouTube doesn't allow you to try to get subscribers by giving a reward or something, or
Right. Well, you can't like have a giveaway that is only for subscribers to your channel.
okay, I
Um,
didn't even know.
it was really hard anyway because a lot of people have their subscriptions put on private, and so you can't see who. It's like
Don't subscribe, yeah.
I've got 300 and I think 10 subscribers, and I can only see like maybe 10 or 20 of them who's actually subscribed.
Okay,
Um, because they hide their information. But yeah, and I've got the books and everything. This week I managed to get, I want to say another 20 pages done on my book that I'm writing. I'm writing a novel. Um, and it's pretty cool because I'm using the area of upstate New York, Lewis County area, and so every if you've ever been in this area, then you'll be able to see the. Oh, he's cute. But you'll be able to see different places like uh, Denley on Route 12, Lowville, um, and just various places. You can actually go and see the places because I figure I know this area very well, and so I can use it. Um, but yeah, that was pretty interesting because it's kind of a dystopian future, um, but it takes place in the near future. Um, if
cool.
if say the socialist government were to take over or whatever and get rid of the Constitution, and but I'm having fun writing it. And when I actually sit down to write, it flows pretty freely. Um,
Sometimes you get the inspiration from
yeah,
everywhere, actually.
yeah, yeah. Just watch the news, man. Um, and it is just craziness. There apparently, if you're in California, you can just if you have like 5 or 10 buddies, you can go in and take anything you want from the store, uh, or at least that's what they're showing.
Yeah,
um,
you're into books, and I've always been more into movies. When I was a kid, I dreamed about making movies or TV shows, and I actually have like 20 episodes of a season of a story that I wrote everything myself, from like the characters to the story to the like every even like every little song in the background that you would hear at certain time to make the feeling that you want to have.
yeah.
But I mean, it was never shown to anyone. I just kept it for myself. But when we started talking about making movies when was what, like around 20 years old, early 2000s, and it started becoming like something that we got serious about, and it was supposed to be an horror movie. And we hear all those kind of horror movies, and they all seem to be the same at some point. And we wanted to have something different, something like Stephen King weird.
Hmm.
But and we decided when we were probably like in our mid 20s, we decided to go in the woods, spend a night right in the middle of the woods in tents, just to see if we could get like a feeling of what scary would be like.
Hmm.
And I mean, we it was fun, but there's a lot of stuff on the camera that we took those days that we will never show to anyone. Let's just say that we decided at midnight, just to go straight in the middle of the woods, take a walk, go straight, boom. After a while, I mean, I freaked out. Like, I'm turning around. We don't know where we're going. We don't know what's gonna happen. Like, we can get lost. Like, we could have gotten lost. So we turn around, and then like I remember waking up the next day and the guys were there, and okay, so it was fun. No. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, that
the movie never happened.
oh man, you need to dig up your manuscript and start making it. Now you've got a lot of the equipment that you would need, you know.
I had a camera. Like, we got serious to the point where we figured, the best way to do it would be to open a business, make a business, maybe like give me something to do. Because I took a course and I graduated in 2005. Hey, Serge.
Hey,
I
Sarge.
graduated in 2005 from community college doing like web programming and videos and stuff like that, graphic designs and stuff like that. So I had a background that I could have gotten a job doing those things. And we figured, let's open a business. We'll do some video, like film weddings and film, advertisement for local businesses and stuff like that. So I purchased a camera. It was a Canon. What was it called? It cost me over $7,000 for the camera. It broke down on me. A friend of mine was supposed to fix it. Never got it back. And when I asked him, he's got all those excuses. And I know what he did with it. He had addiction problems, but he's not going to admit it. But anyway, I ended up losing my camera. So now I have to do all my videos on this little phone here.
Hey, the cameras on the phones nowadays
They're
are
pretty good.
yeah. Yeah, this here they talked me at Walmart. They talked me into getting this at Walmart. It's the actual Verizon phone because I was doing the monthly thing, and yeah, the camera. It's got like 4 cameras on that side and 2 on this side. It's crazy.
Mhm.
Problem is hooking it into my laptop. It's a pain to get it to let go of the files once you record them.
Do you have? Is it Apple? Are you with Apple?
No,
It's not an iPhone.
no. It's Android.
Okay, because I have an iPhone 12 and I've had the same issue, and the only way I could bypass that was by uploading everything on the cloud straight from my phone, and then I go on my computer and open the cloud from there and access my files. Otherwise, it would not load for some reason. So maybe if that's an option for you to have, I don't know if it's
Right.
Google Chrome Cloud or Google Cloud or whatever it is now,
Yeah.
Microsoft, whatever. That could be an option.
Yeah. Yeah, everything I do on the cell phone, well, and every picture that I put on the laptop and everything is well, not the ones I download, but that I put in the actual pictures thing automatically gets backed up to Google Photos and the videos. And I took one the other night. I went to my granddaughter's volleyball game, and on the way home, it was snowing. So I said, I'm going to record because I just like to see. It's weird because you'll be driving and you'll have the did he need me to send him the link? I can send him the
No,
link.
the link is up. If you want to join cells, you can scroll up and see the link.
But I like getting that light speed feeling, but it doesn't show up on the camera as good. But then I had deer run out in front of me, several deer run out in front of me, and I almost clipped. And then I slid through a stop sign all the way. There comes a point when you take your foot off the brake and say, okay, I got to get out of the intersection. But yeah, that was a trip home. I'm like, man, I'm glad I had the camera on. I'll probably put out a couple shorts. The dangers of drip, but visibility was, I mean, I don't know what, I think 50 yards or something like that is what the telephone poles are. And I had more than that for visibility. It was just that whole, apparently the roads were a lot slicker once I got up on the hill. Because the Tug Hill Plateau is we get supposed to get the most snow. I know West Leiden has broke some records before, but and we're just down the hill from there. Um, I've been making some serious electricity. It's been sunny the last few days, and I like it. The hardest part of my day has been starting the generator to do the to make coffee in the morning. And I don't really have to do that, but I choose to. Which
Oh
I've
yeah,
been using the big generator, so I'm just pushing the button to to start it. So
yeah.
um,
Coffee. You need coffee in the morning.
yeah,
Everybody needs coffee, but you could probably make your coffee right out of your wood stove.
yeah. I've got percolators up on the shelf, and I've got several of them. We used to have an actual. It was an automatic coffee pot that you put on the gas stove on the burner of the gas. It was for camping and stuff, but I don't need a whole pot. I just need a cup. And then this morning I went to make me I said I drank my coffee and I'm sitting here and I was working on editing the video for the cough syrup that I made because a couple weeks ago I had a cough. So I said, well, I'm going to go ahead and make some cough syrup for this year. A little late. My cough is gone now, but I got the cough syrup. But so I made a video on that and I said, well, while I'm sitting here editing, I'm gonna go ahead and make some hot tea. And I made, I went to put the water on and I was out of propane. So I had to I said I'm not messing around with the truck right now. So I put the propane tank in the back of the car and headed down the hill to get the propane, came back, and then I'm like, I don't want tea anymore. But I had to get it anyway because the refrigerator
Yeah.
was, is on the propane.
Okay.
But uh, um, but yeah, that was an experience. By the time I got home, I didn't want the tea, but
I
uh,
I plan on getting one of those. Is it like, I don't know if it's stainless steel or whatever. Like you have those little cups that you can put straight in the fire to warm up your
mhm.
to warm up a mug. There's a lady. There's a French Quebec channel from a lady. I don't want to say, I don't want to sound mean by saying your age. I'd like to
No.
think that's like, I think she's over 60 and
Mhm.
maybe even over 70. What I find amazing about that woman is she goes like, her channel is SDB or SBD teacher, and she goes in the woods and she does like all kind of stuff, like in regards of, she'll forage, grab some stuff and cook it right there in the woods. She'll make a shelter, and the next day she'll go bring her stuff. She'll make a small tent or whatever and go sleep right there alone. And I find it amazing that a woman her age can
Mhm.
do that stuff. I mean, I'm 38 years old and I can't say that I'm afraid to do it, because I mean, it's not because I'm afraid of the dark or anything like that. But there are so many coyotes here. And the other day she told me, well, have you ever heard of coyote attacks? I'm like, so I guess I have to do it. So I really want to buy all that equipment and just
Mhm.
go. Maybe not when it's minus 40 degrees here,
Right, right.
but I'll wait until it warms up a little bit, and I'll probably go for a walk at some point and, build a shelter in the snow and try to get a sleeping bag. Maybe not this year, but maybe next year. This is something I want to try to do.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, my brother Trevor and I, we we take the boys from youth group. Well, we did before COVID, and hopefully we'll be starting that again. Um, but and that we are right. Trevor lives, I'm gonna say, less than a mile from the Adirondack State Park, and you got all the Adirondack Mountains, and we've got hiking trails all over the place, and they put up the lean-tos in certain areas on some of the ponds, and we took a bunch of boys out, um, well, for several years in a row, uh, and we just hike in, which the hike in, the boys really didn't appreciate. Sometimes you're hiking 4 or 5 miles with a ruck, which Trevor and I carried most of the stuff, but they had to carry their stuff.
Yeah.
And we had a packing list of what they had to take with them, and we boiled our water and all that, which I cheated, and I still boiled the water, but I had one of those life straws there so I didn't have to drink hot water with some of the silt and stuff. But we had an awesome time. We would just find a lean-to that wasn't being used and set right up on that, and with a big tarp going off the side. And we were just about to start. We found a young lady, Jen Niskern, was showing some interest in taking some of the girls with us, so that they didn't have to miss out on the whole camping experience and stuff. And I love it. Trevor picks on me because I took my cell phone and my cell phone charger and stuff like that. But I said, no, I want to record what's going on. I want to make sure that
Want to
I
keep
can.
memories.
Yeah. I mean, we've got we had a couple kids. It was funny. We were sitting by we hiked from our campsite to another pond, and we're sitting there, and they were eating frog legs because they caught a bunch of frogs, and they said, we want to eat frog legs. So we cooked some frog legs, and they're eating the frog legs, and they're like, what's the deal with baptism? And I'm like, well, and I explained it to them, and they said, well, can we get baptized? So I said, yeah, I'm not going to do it here because I'm not getting the water because you guys' legs were covered with leeches 5 minutes ago. So, but yeah, we ended up baptizing 2 or 3 of them that day. That it was pretty cool. Yesterday, tomorrow will be coming out my very first full cabin inside the cabin. I finally got it cleaned enough where I felt like I could do a tour and show everybody everything. And
nice. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's I like it. It's not what I dreamt of before because, well, Trevor told us don't move in until it's finished, and we moved in
before it was
finished.
So you didn't listen.
Yeah, I didn't listen, and Trevor will tell you I don't listen very well at all. I do, however, learn. So the next cabin I build, I won't move into
until it's done.
But, well, honestly, I don't see building another cabin unless somebody, I told them, I said, if things go really bad down there in town or down in Port Leyden or whatever, if the world gets really bad, we'll build you a nice cabin right up here on the land. And he says, why would I move to the city? Because I'm like 15 minutes from Rome, 15 or 20 minutes from Rome. So they pick on me and say I'm in the city.
Yeah, I would love to have a cabin. My dad has a land, and I really, really have to start like taking it more seriously there. It's there, and as long as I don't cut wood just for the fun of it, he doesn't mind me going there. And if I want to build a small cabin,
yeah,
I'd like to have something just to so I can go in the winter for snowshoe walk and get in there, warm up, have a little fire, and if you want to sleep there, and just nothing fancy, nothing big, just even if it was just 8x10, we just need a place to sleep.
Yeah.
Make a fire outside, or
people we've forgotten that a lot of the cabins that the actual homesteaders, the ones who said basically if you live on this land for 5 years, you get to keep it. They lived in really tiny cabin, little house on the prairie. Even on the one on TV, you had the mother and father's room under the loft, the kitchen or the dining room, and then the kitchen. And the kitchen was tiny.
Yeah.
People didn't live. Dick Prenicky. I don't know. Do you know who Dick Prenicky is? He
No.
look him up sometime. I don't know if if it's on YouTube. But when he was, oh man, I forget how old he was. I think he was in his 50s, but he moved up into Alaska, and he cut his the logs and everything the year before. He stayed at a friend's cabin, and he homesteaded it. He built a cabin. He didn't take tools up with him. He took like a hammerhead. Well, actually, he didn't take a hammer. He made a hammer, but he would take like the axe head, and then he would make the axe handle for it and everything. And it's funny. He says it's negative 60 or it's 65 degrees below zero outside, and it's a
Oof.
bottom 40 degrees in the cabin. Like 40 degrees? Yeah.
Still
But
cold.
yeah, he lived there until he was, I want to say 83 years old. And it just started getting to be too much, and they turned it into, you can actually go and tour his cabin and his land now. It's like a
Nice.
park. But
There's a lot of those shows, like Alaska Last Frontier, and some of
mhm,
those shows that you see them living in those small cabins. And I mean, I remember if I still go in my grandparents' place, they had a small living room, a small kitchen, they
mhm.
had a bathroom, and they had like 3 bedrooms. The two parents would sleep in one bedroom, and they have the boys in one and the girls in one. And today, there's no way you can make the kids sleep in the same room.
Yeah.
You almost feel like you're out of this planet for doing something like that. But I remember,
Yeah.
even I grew up with the same room as my brother. I mean,
Yep. Me and my brother shared a room for years.
until my dad decided to build one downstairs in the basement. But I mean, it was at least a good 10 years probably that we were in the same room.
Yeah. Uh, and it didn't hurt us. I mean, uh,
Except when we got sick.
yeah, when you got sick or wake up. Trevor's like 5 years younger than me, and I'd wake up with his little bony knees in my back and stuff like that. Um but no, it was just something that you had to do to live. You didn't think of this. The kid has to have their own room and stuff like that. Um there was, hey, a lot of times out on the prairie when you go out west towards the breadbasket, um, they built sod houses, and you literally they literally built them. You had to bend down to get in them. The only time you were actually in the house was to sleep. Uh, that was the plan here, and I do sleep a lot, but um, but I'm inside a lot more than just to sleep. Unfortunately, I
Yeah,
uh, addicted to the screens.
yeah, I think
Um,
we all are.
uh, but um, but yeah, the just the simpleness. I mean, one of the reasons Wendy and I decided to do this is we would go camping and we would just love it. The simpleness. We'd have our cell phones. We'd have, if there was Wi-Fi or whatever. Um, Now cars have Wi-Fi, but we had our cell phones and stuff. We had radios and um, like the TV with the VCR tapes and stuff for the kids and stuff if they got bored or it started raining. Um, oh, I'm sorry you weren't feeling good today. But but we just loved it so much that we said,
Why don't
why?
do it full time?
Yeah, let's do it full time. And and that's kind of what we're doing. I mean, I have all the setup to go powerless if I needed to. Or well, I could go powerless. I don't know why I would want to. This is the 21st century, but I could. I've got oil lamps. I know how to make oil, um, and all that good stuff. But I've got that stuff, and it's like today. I was tempted to go out and do some snowshoeing today. Um, just walk. It's been a while since I walked around the property, and now is a good time. I need to get some orange paint just to mark the boundaries. But which the people who own the land behind me, they're pretty good about it. They've jumped the line a couple times with four-wheelers, but they don't want to mess up the trees and stuff on their land, and so they won't do it to mine either. So that's
Yeah.
always good.
As long as they don't break anything and start cutting off trees and stuff like that, and if you have a garden somewhere or a field of hay, for example, if they don't go in there and try to destroy everything. I mean, we had a guy here back in the days. I think there were 7 or 9 kids, and I mean, for my generation, it was something that was pretty rare. So the dad had to work, like they were trying to find every single source of income they could. So they were doing hay, they were picking up hazelnuts, they were picking up strawberries and stuff like that. They didn't even have a TV. They were kind of everybody looked at them like they were weird or something like that. But I remember the guy had a land, like he had a big land, and he would have those fields for hay. And four wheelers would go in there and destroy everything at every chance they had because he was trying to block the way.
Yeah.
And he realized that, if I give you a place to go through, I'm going to ask you to please stay in the trail. Hopefully,
Mhm.
you'll respect me more after. And that's what happened. Since then, he has a trail going like on the side of his land. And he's crossing over to other properties where they have other trails. So everybody's respecting him a little bit more now. And
Yeah.
that's the thing. If you let them pass, you're better off.
Welcome back to basics. Yeah, it's we have uh up through this area, the snowmobiling is a big thing, and we have the snowmobile clubs, and every year they have to remind people, listen, stay on the trails and stuff like that. Uh, and but for the most part, people are good. But
Yeah.
you get and I can understand, man, if you're on a snowmobile, if you're into snowmobiling. I've never really been into snowmobiling because back when I was growing up, they had I don't know. I don't want to say the technology wasn't there because it was, but it's just I remember turning the wheel and leaning and still going straight. Um, uh, but but I can understand if you're into that kind of thing and you see this pristine white cornfield that is covered with snow now. What's the harm in going out over it? Well, thing is, you don't know what he might have parked there. You don't know
Yeah.
um maybe he's got a small lumber pile. Maybe that's not a hill, that's a snowdrift over a lumber pile or something, and they're worried about um
You're killing yourself.
yeah, insurance and stuff. But they groom the trails. They take really good care of the trails, and I try because the road out here in front of the cabin is snowmobile trail in the winter, and they groom it, and I try to make sure I leave plenty of snow. You know, even when I plow, I make sure there's a good base of ice or whatever for them. Oh, the kids are acting up. Yeah, yeah, we got to be getting. Did somebody say it was a full moon? Oh, is it the full moon? Okay, is it the full
Yeah, I
moon?
don't think I think it was a week and a half ago.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Man, winter is. We're almost done with January. That
I
is
know, right?
insane.
It's insane. Like it's been more than a month since Christmas already.
Yeah, I wanna. I would like to tap some of my maple trees and make some maple syrup. They say it's 35 to 40 gallons of sap to get a
1 gallon of
1 gallon of
that's
syrup,
it's 40 to 1.
and so I would like to at least set out, you know, what is it, uh, eight 5 gallon buckets to collect sap in. I've been Wendy and I have been wanting to do it for years, but it's like every February, it's like, oh man, do I really want to spend the money on taps and all that?
What I did last year, well, I got some for Christmas. I got those little tips there for Christmas. But all I did was purchasing. You know, you can get like a gallon of water with the handle on top and everything for like $1.19 here. And I mean, it's just water. You give it to your chickens, you drink it, you do whatever you want with it, and once it's empty, it's a free bottle. So I just drilled a little hole on top on the cap, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a little hose that came with those little tips. So I just put it in, hook it to the tree, and I mean it worked. I can't reuse the same bottles, but I mean at least it had like they were reused again.
Right.
My brother-in-law has a nice maple syrup cabin there, and has been asking me for a while to go and learn from them. The thing is, he's out west in Alberta working, so he has a friend of his taking care of the cabin. So hopefully I'll be able to go help him out and learn and get involved, help him out, and get some maple syrup
Yeah.
out of it. I guess.
Yeah. Uh, it's just one of those things that even in a survival situation, if you have the capacity and the stuff on hand to tap some trees and make syrup, or boil it down even further and make the maple candy, um, that can make all the difference. A little bit of comfort food.
Yep.
Yeah, I started thinking about seeds today, actually, or was it when I did the cabin tour? It was the other day, a couple days ago. Um, because I looked at our seed box and I've got to go through our seeds. I'm as soon as the snow is gone, I've got to find a way to get more manure. My son-in-law, I asked him. I said, "What would you charge me for?" Because he's got an excavating business and for a dump load of manure, and he said, "I ain't gonna charge you nothing." Uh, so. Uh, 2 orders in seed swaps. Oh, nice. Yeah, I haven't ordered any seeds yet. I need to get in there and order some, but we have a box that is just full of seeds. I've got kale seeds that I've dried that I just took care of the other day. They were sitting up on the shelf drying, and I should have put them away a long time ago, but hopefully they'll still be good. But
Yeah,
if
they
I
should be.
can get the manure to amend the soil and do my seed beds right, then I think I'll be in a good way.
Get some rabbits.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I was talking to Trevor about going ahead, and we got a little bit of clearing left to do, and I want to build a barn. I'll do as much as I can at a time, and
Hmm.
if I can get the poles up and a roof on it, um, concrete floor, and then close in enough for the chickens, and enough to have like a rabbit room or whatever, you know, where I can close, just make it so I can close in the rabbits if
Yeah.
like in the winter and stuff. And then, you know, when the money comes in, I could do more, you know, close in more, and eventually I'll have a full-size barn. I want to do good sized beams for the ceiling of the first floor, just so I can do hay if I ever decide to get goats or whatever.
Yeah.
I can store hay.
Do you have a big land where you're at the moment?
Big land, yeah. I've got 20 acres of woodlot.
Okay. Okay. So
And
you can go and harvest some wood right there.
yeah,
Okay.
it's not really ready yet.
Okay.
I've got a lot of maple. I was thinking of having a guy come in. I've got one really decent sized hemlock stand and one smaller hemlock stand that I was thinking about going ahead and taking down and getting it sawed up. But I've got some cherries that I'm hoping that by this at least late summer or fall, I'm hoping that they'll be big enough that I because I'm thinking that they might go for prime. I don't know what the wood prices are right now. But it's veneer or prime because I don't know what it is. The trees here just grow so straight.
Nice. The buddy that was here earlier, Serge, he's the guy that has a land about 4 minutes away from here, and we're planning on building a barn there. So we haven't talked about it yet. We're supposed to go fishing, ice fishing soon, and actually talk about it. The way I see it, if I understood right, what he's offering me is basically I'll help him build a barn. I'll have a space to put my animals. I'll take care of his animals when I go, and I mean we're gonna work together, and both have our animals there. But I mean, if I go, he doesn't need to go and worry about his animals. I'll go and I'll feed them and give him
Yeah,
water, and if I can't make it, I'll let him know. Hey, tonight I really can't make it. Can you stop by and go feed the animals? Because I mean, he doesn't live there. He has a land there. I think he has 100 acres, but he doesn't live there. So it's a little detour for him once you get out of work, or you get out of work, you're tired, you want to go home.
right.
You can't go straight home, and I'll go take care of the animals. He's not working in the winter, from what I understand. So he'll have more time during the winter when the days are shorter and I'm at work while it's uh, sun's out. So when it gets dark, I mean, you can't really go, and it's not fun to go out and feed the animals if you don't see a damn thing. Like
Headlamps are great for like a month and a half, and then
yeah,
it's like, oh man, I gotta put that stupid thing on my head again. Or oh man, I forgot to charge. I've got the rechargeable headlamps to close the chickens in and get wood at night and stuff.
yeah.
Oh, I forgot to charge it.
So he has a nice land and he has some nice lumber. It's just a matter of finding right tools to get it done, I guess, because
Yeah.
we don't own a mill. So I think he was trying to find one to rent, or find a guy that would do it for like cheap. And I mean we'll start working on it. We want to build a pole barn. So
Yeah. And you're gonna film all that, right? Building that
oh
up.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. He has a channel also, but he's like kind of given up on it for a couple of years now. He has about 200 or close to 300 subscribers,
Oh,
but
nice.
he was showing like the stuff he was doing. His plan is to retire and move there off grid. Like he has this big pond on his property, and he's like using the water from the pond to
Oh,
water his
nice.
garden and stuff like that. And he says that like all the life that's in the lake or in the pond, when he waters the garden, it says it makes a big difference. It's almost
Oh yeah.
like it's even better than rainwater, actually.
Yeah.
So seeing a
Yeah,
big
because
difference when
it's got the minerals and the stuff that's
yeah,
coming from the source. and getting washed into it. My Uncle Ronnie and Aunt Nancy, they owned a lot of. He had a deer farm, and they moved way in the back. There was a. I remember when there was just a little, I want to say 10 by 10 fishing camp. It seemed huge to me back then because I was young, but they took, and on the other side of the pond, they built a cabin, and then they enlarged the pond and put a water wheel, a horizontal water wheel on, and they had propane lights and propane fridge. They almost died because they had old. I believe it was an old style propane farm, or yeah, propane farm. It was an old style propane refrigerator, and the pilot light went out. Um, and that wasn't good. uh, they
I'll
woke
be
up.
I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, yeah, I will go ahead and throw on a commercial. Yes, I do commercials. Hey guys, if you're in the chat or if you're watching this on the rerun before February 8th, go ahead and send me an email at thand141 at hotmail.com with the subject line of enter me. And I will enter you into the drawing for $50 worth of my merch, or I'll send you a money order for $50 if you win. The drawing will be done live on a live stream February 8th. In 2022. And we do this every year to celebrate my wife's birthday. This is the first one since she passed away that we're doing. Um, so yeah, check that out. Then also don't forget to click the like button and subscribe and click that little notification bell so that you can be notified every time I come out with a new video. And head over and give Remy some love um, on his channel. It's sounding like he's got some really cool stuff planned, building a barn, and I plan on building a barn here shortly. But uh, and I don't know. I don't think it'll probably be a while before I decide to actually go camping, uh, get the snow off the ground, which that can be fun too, camping in the winter. But I'm just trying to let things settle down just a little bit. Um, for that. Hey, welcome back.
Thank you.
Let's see. Was that no? That's not banners. That's brand trying to. Oh, let's see. Yeah. So I told everybody to head over to your channel and give you some love and subscribe and everything because that's important, man. It's fun, but to get the positive feedback. I mean, I remember when I was talking to Trevor and my friend Matt, and they said, what are you gonna do to do your YouTube channel on? And I'm like, well, my life, kind of just follow me around the homestead. And they kind of looked funny. I said, yeah, I know it sounds boring, but I've already got 30 subscribers or 20 subscribers at the time. And I just topped 300 here this week.
Nice.
Yeah, don't forget the thumbs up. That like is important.
It's fun when you talk to your friends and you tell them that you have a YouTube channel and you're trying to be like humble about it. It's just a little channel. I have about that amount of subscribers, and I started making a little bit of money. And it's kind of bragging, but you have the right to brag because,
Yeah.
like we were saying earlier, like you wanted to write a book, but I wanted to be on TV, but this is kind of what it is. I mean, you're out there. I mean, nowadays people don't watch TV; they watch
Yeah.
stream programs, Netflix, YouTube, and so we're on YouTube, and there's actually people taking time to watch me. So it's pretty
Yeah.
amazing. Even if I only have 50 views per video, I mean, you have to tell yourself people are actually sitting down on their couch to
Yeah.
watch my life. So it's
That's
pretty
50
amazing.
people, man. Yeah, 50 people watch a video. That's 50 people that found you interesting enough, and you're like, wow, and some of the funniest things you get feedback on, which my brother says he watches it for the entertainment value because he always gets a good laugh, and he hollers at the screen because I don't do things the way my brother does. My brother, he's worked construction. He was auto mechanic, and he's a perfectionist. That's why I had him um, build the cabin here with me, or for me. Actually, I was just here.
Just looking.
Yeah, I was just watching and handing him stuff, but is because he's a he gets so good at things. Oh, thank you for the congrats on the 300. But I am so the opposite of that. I am more function over form. If it works, I'll use it until it breaks. And then
Yeah.
when it breaks, maybe I'll come up with something else. And that drives him nuts. Uh, but there's so many. We used to say when I was in the Army, there's the right way, the wrong way, and the Army way. Well, now there's the right way, the wrong way, the Army way, and the Tracy way. I just try to make it work.
I remember when we were all on that Facebook, like small YouTubers, homesteader channel or whatever the group was called. And I saw your post, and I'm like, okay, like at first you're trying to support everyone, you're trying to look at everyone, and okay, I'm gonna check them out and see which one I like. And I remember the first video I watched from you was when you made your garden tour, and you turned around with your camera, and everything was white. Here's my first garden tour of the year 2020.
Yeah.
Everything was white, and I'm like, okay, that guy has the same kind of garden I have. And
Yeah.
I remember that's exactly what I said on one of my comments, I think. And from there, I started following you. And I mean, it's fun. It's all been fun. Like
Yeah.
if like I mean, even Little Homestead by the Beach and Back to Basics Homestead, they can probably agree with us. You get to meet people. You get to learn some stuff. You get to everything is positive. Even if you don't make money, even if you, I mean, I'm pretty sure all the people here are gonna grow up at some point. You're gonna get your 1,000 people, and you're gonna grow. I have no doubt about it.
Yeah.
But even in the worst case scenario, you would get stuck to 310. You said you were earlier.
Something like that. Yeah.
Even if you were stuck there, I mean, you're gonna have some fun. You're gonna meet some new people. You're gonna enjoy what you do. That's the main thing.
Yeah. Hey, Gene, how's it going? Yeah. I remember MB Heritage Homestead. They were talking and they're talking about planting their winter garden, and I'm like, wait, you can do that? I'd never heard, and I lived in Florida for a while, but I was a teenager. I wasn't, like I am now. But in fact, I hated gardening because my stepfather, when I lived in Port Lyon when I was growing up, he hated weeds, and we picked weeds. That's why I do the Back to Eden garden, because you don't get quite as many weeds if you keep up on them.
Yeah.
But
something I have to try.
But I'm like, you can do a winter garden? That's craziness.
Yeah. And I also remember your first live. Well, it was probably not your first live, but it was the first live that I've watched. And it was only you and I, and like I was the only one in the chat, and we were talking, and you lasted for like an hour and a half, and from like, I mean, kind of clicked. Like, I mean, we're friends now, and I mean, same thing with Marilyn and Annie there, back to basics homestead and Little Homestead by the Beach. I mean, I talk to them almost every day. Like
Yeah.
it's we learn from each other. I mean, we talk about all about the homesteading stuff pretty much every day. Like
Yeah.
it's I mean, I met some people. I mean, even Darren at Doorhaven Farm, Mike
Yeah.
at MB Heritage, me and you Acres. I mean, those are people I follow a little bit more, but those are people that I follow in real life also. You know, I have them on my Facebook. I talk to them. I mean, I know if I go to Ontario that I'm gonna have to go and visit them, not because I have to, but because you know that like they're real friends now. I'm gonna go there and
Right.
I want to see them.
Yeah.
Same thing if I ever go in your area. I know that I'm gonna have to find a way to make it to your place so I can go see you. I mean, it's
In the fall, so we can go hunting.
yeah, it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time. It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
The
And
kids are gonna grow up, and I'm gonna have more money in my bank account at some point, and it's gonna happen.
I need, hey, you need to do before a detour here before.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's, I'm really enjoying getting back involved with the community. Um, got a tenth of an inch of snow last night, but don't worry, we'll dig out. Yeah, a tenth of an inch. Yeah, that'll do it, man. That'll close down cities and states when you get down south where they don't have it to take care of it. But yeah, I'm starting to be able to. I'm staying up a little bit later, and because a lot of the live chats start at like 9 o'clock,
yeah,
and uh, but I'm really enjoying the community that is formed. I watched, what is it, altruistic homestead or farms.
altruistic. Yeah, they do a
Um,
lot of live streams where they go and help people and
yeah, they were
homeless
cooking.
shelters and stuff like that.
Yeah, they were cooking at a homeless shelter, and I watched that for it was just awesome because you feel part of that community, and you need community in homesteading. The Amish aren't out there alone. I mean, they might they trade and barter and even buy and sell within their own community, but they know that you don't have time in a day to do everything that needs to be done. If you can outsource something, like um, Susie makes sweaters, and such is growing
Yeah,
uh, carrots, and
yeah,
I'm growing beets. I don't have to grow carrots because I can trade.
yeah. We can trade after. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
And what Hanny's saying, I mean, I totally agree with her. We learn with all the entertainment, bonus friendships. Like, I mean, we it's like you're saying, there's so many good homesteaders out there that you can learn from. But at the same time, I mean, I know with everything that's happening right now in the States, you guys are a little bit more like loose in terms of where you can go and you can move freely and see people. Here in Canada, it's a lot more strict. I mean, right now until tomorrow night, we have to stay in our one household bubble.
wow.
So I can't like legally speaking. I mean, but we're at the point like I work in a hospital, so I have to be careful what I say and I have to be careful what I do.
Yeah.
But it got to the point where I mean, you can't ask your mom not to see your kids. You can't ask a mom not to see your kids, regardless.
Yeah.
That's where I think that they're drawn. The line needs to be drawn. Um, but all that being said, I mean, my point was, uh, what we're doing now is almost the only social life we have now.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
mean, the sports are all stopped, and right now, like the kids are gonna start playing sports again, and this is awesome. But I play like in a pickup soccer league just for fun, where a bunch of guys go and they split up teams for and they
Mm.
make a small season, but we play indoors in a school. But now with everything going on, school don't allow you to go in schools if you're not part of the school. Like if you're not a student, you can't go in. So we can't
Right.
play soccer anymore. So that's like we can't do those activities now. We are basically stuck in our house. I mean, I go to work, I get home right now, I'm tired, but it's nice to go see some friends and just
Mm.
I'll go play PlayStation. I'll go see my parents and maybe go for a partridge hunting trip, or you know daily things that we used to do before that we took for granted, but now we can't legally do them. We can't legally do those things. So being here on camera is kind of the next best thing, I guess. We got
Yeah.
to the point last Saturday, or was it Saturday or Sunday? We got in front of the camera, my cousin and I. I mean, he's kind of my best friend, and from 1 p.m. until like 8 p.m., we were just here in front of the camera. I transfer him to my phone to go pee and would have a drink, and I'll transfer to the cell phone to go make some food and come back in
Yeah.
front of the computer, and we were just talking and chatting like we were back in the whole days. At least everything about the webcam and the internet and the Wi-Fi is allowing us to do a little bit of that. And I think it's the same thing with you're talking about community. The whole community is the same thing because we get to at least talk to people. Like you're probably the only person in the last week that I've had a face-to-face conversation with.
Oh, wow.
Like it's
Yeah. It's crazy. Now you got me feeling guilty for complaining about the restrictions we've got.
oh no,
I
you,
was
you guys have it easy.
I was upset. We were at my granddaughter's volleyball game. I wasn't really upset, but it kind of put me off a little bit. And my grandson is 6 years old, and all of the science says that the younger kids, as long as they don't have a comorbidity, are good. And this lady asked him to go put his mask on. She worked at the school, and his mask was all muddy because he had set it on the bleachers and somebody stepped on it. Well, she was nice enough. She went and got him a new mask. But I'm like, man, this is crazy. These are kids, and they're making them wear masks outside, and the stuff going on in New York City, and it's
Outside?
outside
Oh yeah, outside. Okay, I
and
thought it was
playing
bad
sports.
here, but
They were playing volleyball with masks on.
okay. I see. I agree with the mask if you're indoors.
Hmm.
If you're not with people from your family, like I mean, if I go somewhere and there's people I don't know, like at the mall or something like that, I'm fine with it.
Right.
But I've always said like it doesn't make sense. Even the kids, they go to school and they have a gym class and they have to wear a mask. Like I don't agree with that. You
No.
you can't. I used to ref soccer, and we were not allowed to let kids play if they had like a hat on their head or a little bandana or you know because it was dangerous for something to fall on top of their eyes and hurt themselves.
Yeah.
So what's the difference? I mean, the mask can go up and down. Like
Yeah.
if they're not going to catch COVID playing soccer on a field. They're not going to like. I mean, unless they go and start fighting and or kissing on in the middle of the court. If they play
Right.
basketball, they're not going to catch COVID.
Right.
So I
And if they do, from my understanding, is they are at a very low risk of it turning. Now, uh, a
even
very dear
spreading.
friend of mine, her father, which he was 70 some years old, he was a logger. He worked right up until they put him in the hospital. He just passed away with COVID. Um, but it, I mean, I was in the hospital room. It was just me, Wendy, and then a nurse came in and she was wearing a mask, and we were changing the sheets on Wendy's bed. And an older nurse, I kept the door closed so I didn't have to wear a mask, out of sight, out of mind. And the nurse came in. an older nurse came in and she asked the nurse, she said, "Do you need any help?" And she said, "No, Mr. Hand's helping me." And the older nurse looked up at me and said, "Sir, you need to put your mask on." And I said, "Okay." And I put my mask on, and I said, "Yeah," because I told when that nurse, she just pulled right out of the back out into the hall and shut the door. And I told the nurse, I said, "Listen," I said, "if you want me to keep this on, I'll keep it on. I don't want to get," I said, "don't let me do anything that's going to get you in trouble." Because I didn't want to get the nurses in trouble. They were awesome. But the nurse was wearing a mask. Me and my wife were the only other two people in the room. Were they worried? She was literally at that point dying of cancer in her liver. Were they worried COVID was going to kill her? I mean,
And
it was.
I understand at the point where they would ask you to wear the mask while they're in the room. So maybe you would have it, give it to them, and them spreading
Right.
it out to other people. But I wasn't there. I don't know how they said it.
She was polite about it. She
Yeah,
just
but
said, "Sir, you need to."
if she's like, okay, put it on at least until we leave the room, or I I don't see the
Yeah.
point of you having a mask on when you're alone with your wife in your
Yeah.
room. I mean, it doesn't make sense.
No. Um, but you know, I I try to I try to obey. I had a blow up at Walmart the other day. I don't always contain myself properly. Um, I I parked my car and I was walking in and it said exit only. And I'm like, really? They're starting this again where you got one entrance and one exit. So I walked all the way to the other side of the store. And I get in there, I put my mask on, I get in there. There are no carts. So I walk all the way to the other end of the store. And by this time, I'm slightly upset just over the door thing. No carts there either. So I walked all the way back because then I found out that that entry was they were resheet rocking or doing something like construction in there. And I walked all the way to the other end, back to the end where I could enter. And I said, "Well," I said, "they don't pay me for checking myself out." I said, "I wonder if they're going to pay me for going out in the parking lot and getting my own cart." And there was a security guy there, and he just kind of shook his head. I think he was smiling.
Yeah.
But
I we have the same thing here, but I mean, if like in my area, I understand because we're a very small place and there's no people to work. I kind of understand where they're trying to go with all this, but I mean, if I have a big grocery cart, I don't want to go with self checkout, and
right?
I think this is a problem now. And they have someone there helping you out anyway, so why don't you just come and grab my stuff?
Well, yeah, and right now, what it is down here, I believe, I don't know how it is up there, but we just um uh everybody, for some reason, everybody said, okay, $15 minimum wage, and a lot of places pay more than that. Okay, but and so now we're starting to see it in fast food restaurants. We're seeing where you can buy,
Make your own
food,
order and
make your own, yeah, and it's crazy. But if you're gonna make me check myself out, so you're saving literally
the whole
$15
salary.
an hour.
Yeah.
Give me a 5% discount for using those. Give me a 3%, any kind of discount for using those. If all this stuff that we're saving them, we're having to pay for paper bags now because we had paper bags in New York, and this is a New York centric thing, but we had paper bags, and plastic bags saved us from the evil paper bags that were cut make because you got to cut down a tree. Well, now all of a sudden they came to the realization that we were right, that
by using the
plastic
paper bags. Yeah,
was plastic's a lot worse than paper. We can replant trees, and so now we have to pay for the paper bags, pay for any bags. And it's like, wait a minute here, and I, I've started noticing bread loaves are getting shorter. Um, what used
everything. Yeah,
Yeah, what used to be 16 ounces, sometimes you see 12 ounces now. The packaging might be the same size, but there's a little bit less in it. Um, our world is going downhill. I tell people all the time, we're literally living in Matthew 2024.
and I was saying on another live the other day. I don't know if you were there. My parents used to go in the store and for a quarter to buy like a chocolate bar, bag of chips, and a pop. And now my generation is having it a little bit harder. And I'm looking at the way things are going now with everything going on. And I
Mhm.
fear for my kids because you talked about the minimum salary. Um, I mean, minimum salary is not supposed to be something that you give to someone. Like if you go to school, to college, to university, or even if you're not going to college, you want to go straight out to work, you're not supposed to be paid at minimum salary. That's the thing. It's not by, if you play hockey, um, I slash you or I trip you, we don't need to bring the penalties up to 4 minutes. We
Right,
just need to make sure that I don't trip you anymore. You know,
right.
same thing with salaries. The way I see it, don't pay. That little 16-year-old that's working in the cash, he doesn't need to be paid $20 an hour. Pay
No.
him $5 an hour. That way, the guy that's making the bread will be paid a little bit less. So the bread's going to cost less because that guy is going to get paid less. The guy traveling the bread to the store is going to get paid less. The guy putting the bread on the shelf is going to get paid less. And at the end, you're going to pay less for your bread, and you won't need as much money because I think that's the way everything is going up. They bring up the minimum salary, but they don't take for account that everyone in the food chain or in the chain of this is coming out of the field and now
Yeah.
it's processed in 50 different ways and on your shelf. All those people need to make more money now because we just had a raise. We were on strike a couple of months ago. We had a raise of $3 an hour, but they're bringing the salary up by $3 an hour also. So we didn't really win anything. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm still at the point where I'm struggling to run even at the end of the month
Hmm.
because everything keeps going up. So what's the point? Just
Yeah.
keep everything down. Try to keep the cost down. I mean,
Well,
our kids are going to struggle so much. They're going to get out of university with $200,000 of debt,
yeah.
and everything's going to be twice as much as what it is now, and they won't be able to live.
Yeah. We've um I believe instead of raising the pay, we need to pass laws and acquire policies that lower the cost of living.
Yeah,
And let instead of saying, okay, we're going to give you a $15 an hour minimum living wage, why don't we lower the cost of living so you can live just the same off $10 an
yeah.
hour? Because
Apartments are so expensive. Like gas, it's ridiculous.
and and it's funny because they're paying $15 at McDonald's and they still can't get my order right at the drive-through. And that
Every time.
kids, you McDonald's is not a place you go and say, I want to make this a career.
No.
I am going to support my family flipping burgers. Now, many people have supported their family flipping burgers because they had to. And my hat's off to them. Any job is better than no job.
Yeah.
But um but it used to be that high school students would be get after school jobs and stuff. The managers, would get a little bit more pay. and you'd work at a lower income job until something better came along, and then you would move up to that, and then when something better came along, and then finally you get into a job that you can say, hey, I'm going to make a career out of this. And someone said to me the other day, and they're like, well, what happens if everybody moves out of the low paying job? Then you don't have anybody doing it. I'm like, I don't know what happens, because it's never happened before. We've been doing this for the last
100 years
100
at
years,
least.
and we've never not had somebody flipping burgers or doing whatever. We used to have people pumping gas
Yeah,
for us, you know?
I remember my cousin. You're talking about pumping gas. He was doing it for $2 an hour,
Yeah.
and that's 25 years ago. And I know in the States you pay per gallon, but here we pay for a liter.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember in 1996 we went in on family vacation, and we stopped at a gas station. It was 35 cents a liter. Now the cheapest we've had in the last 5 years was when the pandemic started. It came down to like around 90 cents a liter, and that was like, wow! Everybody went to fill up their cars, and nobody was going anywhere because we weren't allowed to go anywhere.
Right.
But I mean, at the moment, gas is like 156, $1.56 per liter.
A liter. And
It's crazy.
a liter is
A quarter
not
quarter of a gallon,
quarter.
almost a
Yeah.
little bit less.
Yeah.
I think it takes 4.4 liters to make a gallon.
Well, for quite a while, I was being very political, and I came down on our new administration big time for raising gas prices. And I had this wonderful woman that was, um, she meant well, but she said the president does not set gas prices. And I said, she says, supply and demand do. I said, okay, well, let me give you a scenario. The president just stopped an oil pipeline coming from, I believe it was Anwar, the Keystone Pipeline. It comes from way up north, and it was going to come down to the refineries that are on the coast, so it would cut the cost. We were drilling in. We opened up all these reserves. The supply under the previous administration, we had all sorts of supply, more supply than we had demand, so prices went low. Well, now he just stopped all the supply, so the demand is higher than the supply, so
Yeah,
prices are up.
they're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, they're doing it
They
on purpose.
they
The
don't
reason is,
control. They don't really control it, but they do
yeah,
things that makes it happen.
absolutely. And part of it is because a very wealthy donor of his owns the railroads that at this current time they use to transport. If that pipeline comes down and gets functional, then that railroad is going to lose a lot of money. And it's just sad. We've got so many problems. I moved to the country because I don't want to deal with the malarkey going on in the cities. We as Americans are spoiled. We say we don't have enough money to live on a $600 cell phone, you know. Um, and I think you're going to see America fall eventually. As far as not maybe not go to insolvency or anything like that, but I think you're going to see it where we are no longer the big kid on the block anymore.
I think it's already start. Well, let's just say that China is pretty strong now. Let's
Yeah,
just put it this way.
yeah.
And yeah,
And it's scary, but that's one reason why I homestead. That's one of the big reasons why I prepare, is because I know times
yeah,
are going to get tough, and I want to be able to provide for me and mine. But that being said, I'm still dependent on so many of the various grids,
Yeah.
the food grid.
The
Um,
hospitals, the food
yeah,
grid, electricity. Well, maybe not you for electricity, not as
right.
much, but you still need someone to put the propane in your tank. I mean,
Yeah,
you don't have it in your ground. Like it's not something you
right.
can just go and grab. Um,
And
I think also, although you could probably still manage to live or come by if you were just like doing everything in your wood stove. You know, for example, if it
mhm,
came down to it, you could survive with a wood stove.
right, absolutely. Uh, I can cook and heat. It wouldn't be comfortable to do it in the house, but in the summer, um, I can I could cook outside over a
Yeah,
fire. I think is it tomorrow? I forget. I think it's either tomorrow or yeah, pretty sure it was no, it was Monday. I'm sorry. I did a it was a throwback. We butchered chickens and we canned them on open
yeah,
fire. Um, and that that is those are skills that you need. Uh, if things really go bad, you need to be able to adapt and say, okay. Now I wouldn't put my nice pressure canner on an open fire. I've got an older one that
yeah,
was
yeah.
given to us that I use, but um, it's one of the reasons I prep because things are going to get bad. It is going to get to the point where um, if you don't know how to get it, make it, then buying it, it's
You're
right now
screwed.
we're starting to suffer from record inflation,
Yeah,
um, and that it's really a killer. The money is not worth anything. We just a couple years ago they were talking about changing the dominant currency from the dollar, and that will hurt us big time if they do that. But to be honest, there are better currencies out there now.
yeah.
Uh,
Anyway, it's time for me to go. So,
yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, we've been almost 2 hours. I love
well, it's
talking to
fun.
you, Remy.
Yeah, something is wrong when people can make money simply by pushing paper around. Yeah,
Yeah, and
and I
and
mean, money is virtual now.
yeah,
You barely don't see money anymore. It's
no,
all goes in my account. I don't see it. Goes out to pay bills. I don't see it.
yeah. And they were trying to do away with. There was a movement to make it so that any payment had to be with a debit or credit card for anything, which means no more paying Billy $10 in cash to mow your lawn. You
Yeah,
know, no, and it's just a way so that they can tax every cent.
yeah.
Um, but uh, but yeah, guys, stay safe out there. Keep learning, man. Your head is the only thing you might have with you after after they're done with us all.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me. It was fun again.
Hey, anytime, Remy. I appreciate you being here. All right, everybody, y'all have a great day, great week. We'll see you next week. Check out if you haven't already, which I think we know everybody here, but anybody on the replay, if you haven't been to Remy's farm or Rem's family farm, go ahead and check it out. He's got some really cool stuff. I love that. I watched that again where you hike to the top of the mountain there with your
Yeah,
kids.
Sugarloaf Mountain.
That was awesome.
There's a woman that replied to one of to a comment on that video. She says that she made a research, and I think there's like 40 different mountains in the world called Sugarloaf Mountain.
Oh wow.
That's how she found me. It was just a coincidence that she found me.
Oh
It's fun.
cool.
Yeah, it's a cool
Cool.
fact.
All
All
right.
right, take care.
Okay. Y'all have a good one. Take care and God bless.